One of our children is being treated for cancer at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital here in Memphis, Tennessee. That's why we're in this temporary studio, and I ask you for prayers for him. His name is Michael, and pray that God will bring healing in his body. St. Jude was started by entertainer, TV star Danny Thomas. And as a child, I watched Make Room for Daddy or The Danny Thomas Show. And I recently read his autobiography entitled Make Room for Danny. And a lot of what he talked about was in the entertainment industry. In entertainment news, you may have followed that very recently Jay Leno went off the air really for the last time. He is done. He's not moving to another time slot. Jimmy Fallon is taking over. They're actually moving The Tonight Show from Los Angeles to New York, and they've laid off the entire staff. I watched the farewell episode of Johnny Carson way back, and I think it was 1991, and Jay Leno, both of them tearful farewells. Let's just watch some of their closing clips.
You people watching, I can only tell you that it has been an honor and a privilege to come into your homes all these years and entertain you. And I hope when I find something that I want to do and I think you will like and come back, that you'll be as gracious inviting me into your home as you have been. I bid you a very heartfelt good night.
You know, it's fun to kind of be the old guy and sit back here and see where the next generation takes this great institution. And it really is. It's been a great institution for 60 years. I'm so glad I got to be a part of it. But it really is time to go. Hand it off to the next guy. It really is. And in closing, I want to quote Johnny Carson, who was the greatest guy to ever do this job. And he said, "I bid you all a heartfelt good night."
So, to be honest with you, I got emotional both times that I saw it because they are icons. Both of them are icons in TV comedy. But as I thought about their shows and thought about Danny Thomas and thought about what entertainment was and what it has become, I started to become a little troubled, a little bit sad. Because if you look at the progression of The Tonight Show in particular, or if you look at the progression of TV entertainment in general, it doesn't take a prognosticator or a prophet or anyone with real great discernment to recognize that we've gone from a pretty high pinnacle into the sewer. I mean, think of the TV shows that Danny Thomas was involved in. The Danny Thomas Show, Make Room for Daddy. He was the executive producer of Andy Griffith and of Gomer Pyle. The Dick Van Dyke Show, he had his hand in that. Then you had other staples like Bonanza, The Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, Hawaii Five-0, even the cop shows, Columbo and Magnum P.I., they didn't have this horrific violence and this tawdry, debauched sexual element going on. Picture that era, and now Miley, what's her name, Miley Thomas or Miley Cyrus and Beyonce and some of these male dancers and male artists and Big Bang Theory and Two and a Half Men. I mean, some of these shows are just so debauched. And Danny Thomas, in his autobiography, really praised the fact that the shows he was involved with had a message. They had a moral. And storytelling is a very critical part of the formation of a person's conscience and what they value. Much of the Old Testament is stories. Look at the book of Judges. Look at 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. These are stories, and there is a moral to the story. Danny Thomas said, this is what television used to be. There was a moral to the story. And now there's an immoral story. And there is a deliberate attempt to draw young viewers, and old viewers for that matter, but especially young viewers, into a frame of mind and into a lifestyle that is inherently at odds with Judeo-Christian law and with the Christian faith. As we watch out for our kids, we need to be really careful what they're watching on television or online and or in a movie theater, because it gets in their head and it affects the way they behave.